Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell number 238. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. It has been active here. So we thought we were going to have some long-term family company staying with us. So I spent 2 days, trying to get the guest room pulled together and starting to get ready to move things out of the frog so they could use the 2 rooms. However, they're not going to be staying with us. We are excited they will be back home, but they're not going to be staying with us. So it was wasted time, but not really, because I really needed to get the guest room cleaned up before Christmas time in case we have any overnight company and stuff like that. So good thing, bad thing. Also, I'm still following the Clutterbug Declutter September daily task activity thing. So I was able to, while I didn't have any purses or handbags, and I empty my purse every time I come home. So I don't have the purse that's full of receipts and stuff. Uh, I went through the luggage and got rid of, I love packing cubes, but a lot of times they come with just the zipper laundry pouches and stuff, and I don't use those. So I got rid of a bunch of stuff like that, some extra makeup bags and things like that. So I was able to use that time to do some decluttering in there, also pull out some of the moving bags that I use to move the yarn, because I will need those for something I've got coming up at the end of September, beginning of October. So it was a good thing that I got it done, but that did decrease my crafting time quite a bit. And we've also had a lot of just time absorption with running errands, being adults, doing adulty things. So it's funny because I feel like I did everything and nothing at the same time. And it's always such a weird when we come down to that, because it's I did a lot, but did I really do as much as I thought I was doing? So anyway, I will put a picture in at the end of the video of so far what I have decluttered to donate. We're not even going to talk about the stuff I threw away. Grocery bag wise, I know I've had at least 2 just plastic grocery bags that I use as can liners in the bathroom, because I'm not going to buy a trash can liner. Uh, not for the bathroom trash can. And I know, in going through the pantry, I really didn't have any food to throw away, because we've done really well this year so far at only buying what we're eating. There are some certain things, I was able to set out beets. I love beet salad. By the way, beets, olive oil, lemon juice, red onion. I like mine with some Italian seasoning, and then either crumbled goat cheese or feta cheese. Just let that marinate all together. We're not so hot now, but that's one of those perfect over the summer thing. But Costco sells the pre-cooked roasted beets, and that's what I use. But you could theoretically use a combination of roasted and pickled. I would not do all pickled beets for that. Yeah, so I did pull out my box of beets because they've been there for a little while. We haven't eaten them. They are something we enjoy. So I was able to use 2 out of 3 of those. I also was looking at I bought a case of the peanut butter I generally eat, but I haven't been eating as much peanut butter. So maybe I need to focus on eating peanut butter a little bit more for those little protein boost and stuff. Also, just, peanut butter tastes good and straight spoon to mouth. Yeah. And we do have separate peanut butter for the 2 of us, because we both like different peanut butters. But yeah, so there was some stuff like that in the pantry that got reorganized, or a little bit more of a focus put on them. I made the pumpkin soup that I shared with you guys, because I do have a ton of pumpkin right now in the pantry. We're hitting the time of year where my go-to evening snack is going to be pumpkin bread. So we'll use a lot of the pumpkin, but I wanted to also use some of the coconut milk we have. So I made coconut pumpkin soup, which was also divine. We had enough for one dinner. on Thursday last week, and then I froze 3 quarts, I think. So yeah, that's how that kind of went. So we had some stuff that went to the trash can, but it's kind of hard to categorize or quantify what was decluttered out of the house into the trash can versus, but we do have a lot of stuff moving out of the house, which is a good thing. I also was able to get the non-food things for the trick-or-treaters out of the guest room and start getting that all together so I can see what I need to buy for trick-or-treaters this year. We'll start decorating for fall and Halloween over the weekend, I believe. So I'm pretty excited. But once again, it's like, I feel like I did all this stuff, but then I also feel like I did absolutely nothing. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird moment. So anyway, we can talk about what I did work on crafty wise this week. I did go ahead and start making some Christmas cards for this year. I've only got a dozen of these. These will go on the top as the primary design. And then I will, put some sort of a greeting and then gems and jewels and things like that on here. But that's really all I had time to do the other day. And this is using the Holiday Delight pad that I picked up from Hobby Lobby in 2016. So been in my stash for quite a while. Definitely time to use this and get this out of my stash. Let's see, I don't see it. Hobby Lobby keeps their holiday stuff generally for 3 years. So I don't know what year this actually came out, but definitely needs to be used up. So we did get those started. It is 4 pages of each design. So I do have a bunch of cut aparts here that I will be able to use for greetings. I am going to do my best because I have so much that I bought over the years. I didn't know when I started paper crafting, I didn't know how much of a paper pad it was going to take to make enough cards to send out to everybody. So like I bought duplicates of a lot of things. So one of the things I'm trying to do is really focus on using what I have and using up a lot of it very quickly. So especially for like the holiday cards, because like this year for Halloween, I found a bunch of extra cards that I had made out of scraps and bits and bobs. So I'm just going to finish those off. Same thing with my Thanksgiving cards. I made a bunch a couple of years ago and never finished them. So I'm going to finish those off. So really the only cards I'm making from scratch this year will be the Christmas cards. So I just want to use up what I can and start decreasing what I have in the room, because I do have a lot of excess paper in the room. I have enough Christmas paper and Halloween paper and fall paper that I won't need to purchase paper, cardstock paper, probably for another 5 years to make cards. So, yeah. So I'm focusing on the 5x7 card size. That way we can maximize usage. And if I have a whole bunch of scraps, I might actually just put those in a folder and hold those for another year to make scrap cards with. This is a pretty neutral set of cards. The pink does kind of make it stand out a little bit along with the goldy green here. But I have a number of vintage themed aesthetic cardstock, so I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. So I'm going to push through, make as many 5x7 cards as I can, a couple of A2 size cards, and then we'll see, kind of where we are. I don't plan on doing a whole bunch of scrap cards with my Christmas cards this year, though. So there's that. Let me flip this around here. Next WIP I want to talk to you guys about is my granny square blanket. So just because I started it and it's easy to tote around and move around, I have been working on the granny square blanket. So we had 3 squares joined together last week when I shared with you guys. So it is going to be 5 squares by 8 squares. So I do have the first row done and the first block of the second row is now joined. Like I said last week, I like the way the taupe looks. It's just not my personal thing, but I am going to be donating this. So this isn't a blanket I was making for myself anyway. This was going to be donated to begin with, but this is using Pound of Love and taupe from Lion Brand. Pound of Love in aquamarine and also honeybee. So we'll see a little bit of a decrease. I'm hoping I have enough yarn to finish this blanket. I am a little bit concerned about that, but we'll see where we go. I did move this. We went to Home Goods over the weekend and I found this really cute, little spooky, little cute tote. I don't know, the mushroom aesthetic just really, I love it. It's so cute. So that's what everything's living in. I have in here one square with the turquoise started or finished, one with it started. And then I have a handful of centers. So I'm doing 6 rounds of the honeybee, 2 rounds of the aquamarine, 1 round of the honeybee, and then I'm joining it in a continuous join as you go with the taupe. So there is that. Next up on my WIPs to share, and then we'll move on to FOs. It'll be a fairly quick episode this week again. I did pull out, we actually left the house and did things. So after having been sick now for most of the month of August, I did get some work done on my Meadow socks. So last time you saw these, they were down here. When we went out on Saturday, I actually only had a couple of rows until I hit the heel. So I actually started turning the heel on these while we were out shopping. And now I am starting to work up the leg. But I did get both heels turned. I am still slightly annoyed that I did not catch. I was just going to accept these weren't going to perfectly match. And unfortunately, what happened is I started it where it was, and we ended up just being like 30 stitches off. So we're almost, it's somehow starting to even out in the wash here. I think there's only a difference of like 10 stitches now of where they start and stop. Of course, this isn't going to be easy to check. But anyway, that's those. I did get a lot of work done on those. I'm very pleased. I love the Shadow Wrap heel. It is super easy once you understand what you're doing to memorize it and just go. So that's the first time I've had to do it on the go and not like, okay, I'm going to sit down and turn the heels on this. So I did one heel almost completely in the car. And then Saturday night is my self-care night. Normally that's when I do like a clay mask. Because as you can tell, even though it's 8 a.m. and I just finished doing my makeup, I have very oily skin. So I do a clay mask on Saturday night generally. And, occasionally I'll do a sheet mask if I just feel like being extra. I don't think they really do anything for my skin, but I do enjoy the experience. So yeah, that's what I did on Saturday night. So while the mask was drying on my face, I did half the heel of the second sock. And then after I got out of the shower and everything and did a sheet mask, I did the other half of the heel. So I used that as like my self-care entertainment while I was sitting there waiting for a mask to dry. But yeah, and then I started on the cuff in the car while we were going to church on Sunday. So we actually left the house this weekend, which was kind of nice. We were on the hunt to see if Lowe's and Home Depot had Halloween stuff out, and their selection is just kind of this year. So the best thing they have is they have a deep sea diver with a skeleton head on the inside. But he's kind of cheaply made. And he's almost like $250. He's kind of expensive for how cheap he look. Because the fabric on the suit is very thin. I know it's me being picky, but... So I finished my niece's sweater. It never should have taken me 3 weeks to finish it. It should have taken me 4 days, but, you know. Once again, life. I have all but 3 ends woven in. So I have where I finished, this was the sleeve that I finished second, and where I joined in the extra yarn, the second ball of yarn over here. So I do think I'll probably make a hat. I have just enough yarn, I think, to make a hat to match this. And it does need to be steamed and kind of shaped a little bit. Everything is just a little stiff from being fresh off the needles, but it's so cute. So this is on the screen because I know I'm going to get it wrong. It's South something. And this is from Galt House of Yarn, which I believe this is now the second pattern this year I've done from their pattern collection. I've enjoyed what I've made so far. I did like the pattern. It does come in adult sizes as well. I pulled some Peyton's classic wool out, and I want to make, once I finish these sleeves on my brick sweater, I want to make a oversized sweater with that. So it's kind of an itchy wool, and I want something oversized that I can wear a long sleeve shirt underneath it. So that's coming up hopefully sometime over the winter. The only other thing I finished is I finally finished my spring bumblebee diamond painting. So this was sent to me free for review and unboxing to share with you guys. And I really love how it turned out. Whoop. Oh, mercy me. I'm just dropping everything because I don't think things through. But I do think it's adorable. I have a frame coming. Hopefully by the time I'm done editing this today, my frame will be here and I can take a picture and stick it at the end of the video here. But that's really all I have to share with you guys. It's like I said, it's just the random has taken up so much of my week that just trying to get sat down to do much of anything has been a little. So anyway, I have some pictures here at the end for you guys, and I love you guys. Come back on Saturday. We will be talking about Cordell and Como wool, or Como wool. Now I lost my Como. C-O-R-M-O. So anyway, we'll be talking about Como and Cordell wool on Saturday as part of our Getting to Understand Our Fibers Better series. So I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Bye, guys.